Hey Spartans, my name is Sarah Hawes. Coach Rich reached out to me and asked that I share a story with you guys about my life and about how God is so important to me and how he plays such a huge role not only in my life but also in athletics and kind of your everyday thing that you're doing. So a little bit of background on me. Like I said, my name's Sarah. I was born and raised in South Texas. I went to high school there. I went to college there. That's where I met Rich. He was the athletic trainer for all of our athletics program. So I cheered in high school. I was a cheerleader in college also. I currently live in Los Angeles, with my fiance and our golden retriever dog. And we love it out here. I work for SpaceX right now, so I work in supply chain. I got my degree in marketing. Kind of a crazy story of how I got here, but that's what I currently do now. I'm going to dive right into this story and kind of hope that it's something that you guys can relate to and that everyone can kind of take home with them and reflect on it. So when I was in high school, I was one of 4 freshman girls to make the varsity cheer team. That was kind of unheard of. Not a lot of freshman girls made the varsity cheer team, so I was super excited about it. I had worked so hard all my 8th grade year, all summer long, to get my standing tuck. And if you're a cheerleader, like, you know that getting your standing tuck is like crazy hard and like super important, because it's like kind of like a monumental moment in your cheer life and your tumbling life, that you get that standing tuck, then it opens up so many different avenues for you to do so many different tumbling passes. So my freshman year was great, like everything was fine. And then my sophomore year, we were practicing during the summer for summer cheer camp. And I was a base, so I was lifting the flyers and we were doing a stunt. And then all of a sudden the flyer, her leg accidentally collided with mine. And I ended up tearing my ACL that day. I tore my ACL, part of my meniscus, and I stretched my MCL. I have never experienced anything like that in my entire life. So of course I'm like crying and freaking out. Everyone on my team is freaking out, right? It's a really big deal when you're super young to have a really like tough injury like that, because you mentally you're not sure to like what is going on, and like, is this gonna ruin my whole like cheerleading career? Can I cheer anymore? Like, can I walk? Like, you don't know what's going on. You're like, can I do anything like this? So that happened my sophomore year, and it was really hard for me, because the thing that I struggled with the most was that I knew that I felt like I was a better cheerleader. This sounds really selfish. I felt like I personally was a better athlete than other people that were on my team, and that was taken away from me. And I personally felt victimized, like this girl took my athletic ability away from me, which wasn't the case. She didn't do it on purpose. It was not anyone's fault, right? It was just a freak accident. It happened. I happened to tear my ACL, and that was that, right? So during the recovery process, I was still so angry at everyone. I was so mad at my mom. I was mad at my coach. I was definitely mad at this girl that accidentally collided with me, and I was livid, right? And the only thing I could do was like ask God. I was like, God, like, why did this happen to me? And that's not the best way to do it. You have to say, God, like, please help me recover from this. What can you do to show me the light? Because I was like, there is no light at the end of this tunnel. Like that, I was certain that there was no light at the end of the tunnel. And what's so crazy about that is that throughout the process and like throughout physical therapy and everything, it started to get better, which it does, right? It always gets better at some point, but you just don't know when. And that's when you really have to rely on God and your faith with him and your trust in him for it to work. So I went to physical therapy. I busted my butt to get back onto the cheerleading mat. I mean, I would crawl places if I couldn't walk, and like I didn't want to wear my brace or something like that. And the crazy thing is that my tumbling actually got better. My tumbling was way better than it was before I tore my ACL. And it's like, how did that happen? Like, how did me having such a severe injury make my tumbling better? I was convinced, I was like, I'm never going to be able to do like my standing tuck, my like full, any of that. I was like, I'm not going to be able to do it because like I have this clunky brace on. How do I even like tumble, period, right? It was crazy. My tumbling was way better. And that's how I knew, that is how I knew that God was there with me and that God was working through me. And I am a product of that faith, of relying on him and trusting in him and, really trying to understand that like this happens to people. Bad things happen to people all the time. You could be the best person in the world and you can just get dealt a bad deck, and that's okay. And that's really, really okay, because once you put your faith in God and your trust in him, he's going to take care of you. That's why he died for us, is to take care of us in the long run. And that's something that you really have to truly understand. And when you do, it's smooth sailing from there. The story is so important to me because now that I'm older and like thinking about it, because this is almost like 10 years ago, like I'm like, oh my gosh, like that moment changed my life forever. And I got to cheer in college, and I still love being active, and I love working out. My fiance and I love doing all these active things, and it really like paved the way for me to be such an active individual in my life. And you know, faith is such a strong thing for me. I'm getting married in a week, so I'm like so excited, and I'm really happy that God has done all these great things for my life. So I just want to share that with you, with all of y'all, and I really hope that, you know, you can take this away and just reflect on it and understand that God is there for you and he's working through you. Even when the times get tough, he has got your back, regardless of how bad you feel and how terrible this might be. He's got your back, and he's not going to let you down. Feel free to reach out to me, Coach Rich, share my information with anyone. You guys can reach out whenever. I know y'all are awesome, and I'm so excited to be sharing this story with you guys. But again, please let me know if you have any questions. It was awesome being able to share this with y'all, and I hope y'all have a great day.